if I look into some of the submissions over here, okay, based from one of the group from Miss Vivian, okay, I can see that it's quite very practical, okay, for us to use it as a part of our enhancement on our presentations at the same times. Okay, you understand what I mean here right now? Say yes or no on the chat box. All right, anyone there, please add in the chat box there. Because why? Because this is not for me there, guys. Okay, what I'm doing is not for me there. Okay, it's basically for your preparations when you go outside there. Okay, when you graduate. Okay, I will love to see each one of you guys. Okay, will graduate a bit more, kind of more proud on yourself there. Okay, even though we lay low a bit. Okay, stay humble all the time there, right? Okay, but it kind of gives you guys more preparations when it comes to develop your confidence when you present your works. Okay, you present your works there, okay? Because I can see some of the good works from here, okay? Even though we can see there's a lot of improvement later on when it comes to Kahao kind of presentations later on there, okay? Some of the very good kind of what we call a development from here. But the thing is right now, where is your explanations, right? So those are the things that I actually have missed out directly when I come to give you guys those brief there. Okay? I thought I actually give you guys a bit more better on the brief there, okay? By giving some of the informations before you're going to work on that, and also plus with my demonstration at the same times. But when I actually look some of the presentation like this one, I would request, not for me, but for your own good there, okay? That each one of us, each one of you guys, you have to come up with this kind of presentation there, right? For each assignments and also exercise. Exercise, we compile all these 3 exercises into one PDF presentations, okay, like this one, which is the deadline have been what we call have been ended up, okay, but they're not going to be affect your marks from there. They will be affect marks because I want to improve your marks, not to decrease your marks. Remember that, right? Okay, not to decrease your marks there. Okay, because I want to add more values on your presentation. At the same time, I want to add more marks from your submissions. I know 10% is not big enough for you to work on that. But remember what I said earlier when our first week there, okay? That value of your marks that you bring over to your exercise, it might going to help you to increase back again without making any make good, to improve on your assignments there. Which means, okay, I'm not acting myself as a robot, right? I acting myself as a human being for you guys there. So if I saw some of the potential of your works, for example, okay, that you actually presenting your works like this, you add some sort of reference with you, put some sort of descriptions on your finding, all right? Description on your finding there, okay? And give some sort of examples of the relation between what you have done, okay, with your works, the tools that you guys use there, the experience that you get from by exploring those kind of methods there, okay? And one of the most important thing is that you apply what you've learned from my classes, okay? And then you improvise from there. You make it more better there, okay? I want to hear some explanations, some description there, okay? From that particular, this particular presentation like this. And then I can show a bit kind of improvement on your sketches there, your developments, your ideas there, okay? And then you give some sort of conclusion at the same times, okay, about what you guys have been done, okay? So if you actually prepare yourself back again from the first exercise, all those 3 compiled together in one particular PDF like this, put it into the same folders there, and then the second assignment, which is we're going to submit by this Sunday, right? Sunday or next Sunday there? Next Sunday, is it? So that means there, right, okay? This Sunday, is it right? The last submissions or the deadline for the first assignment, right? So which is I actually can have more understanding there. How much marks that you guys deserve from your efforts, from your finding, from your development, from your exploration at the same times. Okay? They give me more room for me to evaluate and play with my rubrics of marking, okay, to give more better on your kind of what we call that marking, kind of what we call that evaluations there. Okay, those are the things that I want to help you guys here, not to help me, right? Help you guys there, right? Okay, to increase those kind of quality of your kind of presentations of your submissions. All right, do you guys understand about it? Okay. Anyone who agree there, okay, or not agree, please put on those chat box there, okay. Yes or no there, okay. Y or N there, right? If you find it's quite very effective, practical for us to communicate like this one, all right, say yes there, right, on the chat box. Guys, because when I look at this submissions there, okay, most of the submissions of your works over here, all right, it's very good kind of example of presenting basically your works, but the process that we did there, okay. I did also a few number kind of process for you guys that you works, and I want to see how you present it more better, okay, on your way of working at the same time. Okay, like some of you guys actually have done very good, tremendous kind of works here. Okay, let me see the right, okay. Some of them have been finished. Some of them, yes. So I want you to study a little bit more further, okay? I want to see what you actually have been explored from there, right? That we actually can share all together there, okay? You Link, Yan Ling, Wei Quan actually have been said before. Okay, like Li En, okay, where she actually have done a few number kind of exploration on her works there. So I can actually get some descriptions, some of the tools that you actually have been explore. They will give more kind of what we call that learning experience there, okay. And of course, okay, you don't have to be there to explain about your work. You just put some description on your works over here, then we can actually learn and study all together there, okay. And I know basically how far you can go from there. This is basically what the Photoshop files there, okay. I think you don't have to send the Photoshop file, guys, okay, because I won't be able to open it up there, right, okay. So just send me the progress of the works, and then we can see how actually you're going to develop them, okay, the brushes that you use, all right, okay, the tools that you guys applied, okay, the technique that we've been applied from there, okay, all those kind of important kind of informations will lead into your kind of way to present it more better. You develop those confidence at the same time, okay, and people will understand about the whole process that you've been working on, okay, because I don't think that we are going to do some very light presentation, video presentations there, okay, for each of our submissions there. So that means from that kind of PDF, kind of what we call that presentation that we have like this one there, okay, it will help me to engage a bit more better on your kind of understanding here. Okay, those are one of the reasons there, guys. Hey, no response, that means you don't like it to do those kind of things, lah. Right? What do you guys think about it? Because group 2, okay, I already asked them, okay, I already explained to them, okay, the reason why, and they're going to work on that. All right. because you already have done all this kind of works, and I believe all the Photoshop file, all the process work you have been working on, right? Okay, we just have to what we call that engage and separate all those files and then put into those folder and just write those descriptions. That's all there, right? Okay. Because one of the things that I find from the submissions that I actually have been working on, okay, on the evaluations for this week, I saw basically one of your friend kind of works that okay, just now, okay. Which one there, right? Where is it? Which one there, right? Where is it there? Because I asked one questions that basically your friend cannot actually explain back again. Okay, one of the questions that I actually asked her, okay, why actually you choose that particular kind of style there? Okay, in terms of develop your techniques. Okay, this is one of the good way that he actually have done, okay, Wang Chung Hua, okay. But the thing is right now, the exploration that he did, okay, for the first exercise, right, which is for me, okay, in terms of illustrations, yes, I can accept it, okay, the styles of illustration, they do look more like a naive drawing styles there, okay. But the point is right now, did he purposely done that kind of styles because of he want to use this kind of way of working for the rest of his illustration styles? Or he actually doesn't know the direction that he want to go through directly? That's the question is. Guys, you don't respond directly about my kind of proposition right here to improve more on your submissions there. Put it into the chat box, right? Okay? Do you guys agree about it or not, right? Each kind of what we call that submissions, exercise 1 to 3, compile 1, physical kind of PDF like this one, right? Okay? Assignment 1 and 2 and 3, each assignments, right? Okay? You create into another PDF, right? Okay? So we can have a proper kind of presentation like this. And of course, these kind of presentations okay, that you have done, okay, you can actually put into on your what we call that online portfolios later on, okay, like you have your own Behance directly, which is I have also my own directly. So the thing is right now, when you have your own kind of what we call that, your own kind of personal kind of online portfolios like this. How is it? Mine. When you have that kind of portfolios like this one, okay, when you have those PDF kind of format, okay, it will give you more advantage in the futures to present your work, that people can see your process of working like that, okay. You don't have to go through with a lot of portfolios there, okay, to compile all together back again, okay, because we can see, people can see basically your kind of what we call that progressions, that people don't want to see only your quality of works only, okay, but people want to see also how actually you did those kind of process of working on your design there, right? Hey, you guys still with me there, right here? Yeah. All right. So when I look into this kind of design, okay, one of the questions that I have in mind, why? Okay, why basically he choose this kind of way of working there? I'm not saying it's wrong, but he cannot explain why. If you say that, okay, if he say, okay, I want to use this kind of style, sir, because I want to experiment my own way of illustrating, even though it doesn't look right, obviously, right, okay, it's okay, but it still can be presentable as part of my individual kind of styles. Okay, you guys are graphic design students, which means when we actually start to work with this kind of methods of working, you actually done all this kind of works by designer, okay? Not just simply draw, chinchai, and then you submit them, right? You basically working by design. You purposely done it because you want to explore this kind of methods for your own individual work. Okay? Understand that? Because my question is simple as that. When I first introduced to use the tablets and also Photoshop to draw, okay, the methods that I show you guys is one of the techniques to help people who cannot draw well. People who can draw, yes. I've done this kind of what we call that demonstrations. Okay, this one of these demonstrations there that I actually use reference, but I did not actually draw on top of the layers there. But I draw side by side, just like traditional methods there, right? Okay. Okay. That's basically one of my first early demonstration around January 30 there, maybe there, okay, I can't remember, maybe I upload a little bit late there, right? But this is something that I share with you guys. One of the traditional techniques that if you can draw well to develop your kind of understanding, your proportions, your alignments, your structures in the right way, even though I actually not focusing too much there, right? But I kind of using the traditional methods just to show you guys how it works there. Okay, this is one of the methods, the early methods that I've showed there. Okay, other than, okay, that I actually have done also some of the methods that which actually have been giving you guys some examples to draw using the layers there, right? Okay, using the layers there. See, this is the one there, is it? Using the layers to work there, guys. Okay. Okay. Using the layers there to work there, right? Okay. So that's basically my kind of questions that I have in mind. Because you have the right kind of tools there, the right kind of methods there, okay, that I choose there, okay, to show you guys how it works there. Right? But why some of you guys still cannot actually apply the method that I show first before you improvise them? If you can draw well, like some of you guys, good. Okay, good there, okay. You guys can go for it, okay. You have a total freedom to explore a bit more further there, right? Okay, to work on that. But the point is right now, if you cannot do it right, okay, if you cannot doing right there, right? Where is it here? Okay, the demonstrations here. Why don't you try to improve more further on your presentations and your skill at the same time to work with this particular kind of style first, all right? Before you're going to go through a bit more further and further, right, to just to test your skills there, okay, to develop more kind of way of more advanced kind of techniques. That's basically my question is. Most of the demonstration that I did, other than this week kind of what we call that Simon's brief there, right, okay, which is I'm using a more structured kind of sketch there, okay, from breakdown of those, what we call that, characters design styles there. Okay, so I can find that like Paisy also have a struggle with the design there, okay, with the characters and paint kind of styles there. Right, like Leanne, okay, very good exploration there, Leanne, okay. We want to see more on your explanations there, and the rest of you guys also the same thing, okay. So you have to basically compete among yourself and also on yourself there, right, okay, to develop your kind of good portfolios there at the same time here. All right, so it's a very nice kind of touch, okay, on the presentations on the works, but maybe the color kind of styles, right, should be improved, but I want to have some explanations there, okay, on the presentation like this. Each one of you guys, for your final submissions for each assignments there, okay, for each assignments there, right? Are you guys agree with it or not? If you don't agree, okay, you choose yourself there, right? I'm going to continue to give the marks there, okay, but not by understanding your kind of way of presenting there. I know basically how much I can give, okay. When I look at this kind of submissions, I know how much I can give there, okay. Let's just say you're not complete, right, okay, but if you say you complete the right, okay, for examples there, I know how much I can give. Okay. How much actually the marks is it? Okay, thank you very much for the response there, guys. Yeah. Okay, the right, okay, good, right, okay. Right, thank you very much for your what we call that responder, okay. Because I need to have more understanding. Because why? Because when I actually saw some of the reference, they're not actually quite reflected with your outcome there, okay, with your output there, okay. Those are the things that I worry with there. Because there's a lot of way to improvise, to simplify, and to develop basically the way of paintings using the digital kind of tools there, which is I actually have shown you guys before. But it seems that you don't actually use them as a part of the way to develop your skills from there. Because at this moment there, okay, you have to remember one thing. When you come to design your characters, one of the most important thing that you have to remember there, okay, and you have to apply there, okay, by working with your breakdown for your characters there. You saw yesterday, basically, I designed this kind of characters there, okay, the early stage. I don't know who is it, but I believe this is one of your friend kind of caricatures, okay, which I translate into my own kind of character design, okay. I'm using myself as subject matters because easy for me to relate it with my kind of process of working there. I can use different kind of characters there if I want, okay, because right now what we want to create is scenarios there, right, okay, on those design at the same times. So you can design any kind of characters there, guys. I repeat myself back again. Based on the brief, you have to create one single characters based on one subject matters, but you have to design 5 different kind of styles there before you finalize that, okay. Before you finalize that, you don't have to design 10 different kind of characters from 5 different characters from 5 different kind of subject matters. That don't find, okay, you want to draw yourself, and then you want to draw elephant, for example, and then you want to draw monsters there, okay. You choose one subject matter, okay, monsters. What type of monster that you want to design? What type of creatures that you want to design there? Dragons, ghouls, goblins, what we call that, orcs there, right, okay. You name it there, okay, or Dracula there, okay, vampires, okay. One subject matter there, but that vampires came from who actually your kind of reference form, okay. Going to become yourself a vampire, for example, go ahead, okay. I will put that on my notes there for my demonstration for today, okay. So you have to define them and explain them back again in written there, okay. Simple as that. I actually explain verbally because I love basically to give some sort of spontaneous kind of what we call that idea developments, okay, like these sessions there, because I want to show you guys that if you have done a lot of practice, okay, on developing your kind of understanding, okay, which I actually have done before there, okay, it kind of gives you guys more kind of way of advantage in the futures there, because you guys also can explain like me there, okay. I don't know whether I actually have kept some of my files which I present some of the work for my clients there, right? Okay, let me check back again. Okay, one of the things that I've done before, where is it there? Let me check back again, guys, okay? So one of the things that I've done before there, right? Some explanations there, okay? Which I think can actually write, okay, mock up like strings there. This is the one. All right, some of the presentations of my works that I've done, a few sample of my explanations on the character design, for example, there, right? So this is not entirely all my works there, but I presented, okay, this is some of the work that I've done, okay, for the clients. I explain a bit about the techniques, and a few number kind of explanation on the finding there at the same time, is that right? So guys, I want you guys to do the same thing because I want to improve more on your presentations here. All right, presentation at the same time there, right? Okay, so my research, it doesn't have to become also from the Googles that I saw there, okay, from here. This is one of the Google kind of samples there, but research also can be done in the form of your sketches. This is a few sketches and developments that I did previously for my clients there, right? Okay, so I done the same thing, but I actually want to ask you guys to proceed back again, to refine back again your presentations there, okay? Because one of the most important thing, right, okay, you have to remember, okay, this is not for me there, okay? I just done it because I believe it's really important for you guys to have a proper kind of presentations for each assignments, because it helps you to gain more understanding what you've learned from there. You guys can explain a bit from there, because when I asked the questions, okay, these are some of the developments that we did from the earlier kind of stage there. I really missed this kind of class, right? Okay, observation exercise there. So some of the demonstration that I did, some of the demonstration that student did also, and some of the samples there. Okay, do you have any questions at the moment from here? What we want to achieve from your presentation there, because I find that quite not very proper there, okay, because I cannot actually understand your kind of way of thinking there, okay, why actually you don't use that kind of particular kind of way of working with the method I show, when you know basically you have struggling a lot when you want to draw this one, unless the thing that I actually showed just now, okay, this is one of the drawings that I did, what we call it in the first sessions today, which is I just simply draw the characters of your friend as a person. I just simply draw there, okay, using my lazy kind of hands, but I'm using this kind of reference there with me. It's a reference, right? But I'm not actually draw entirely in my in our traditional kind of way. I kind of actually exploring in very loose kind of style there, okay, but still doesn't look right, okay, but I just exploring them, guys, okay. This is my first explorations there. I can do it more and more from here if I want to there, okay, but this is one of the examples that I actually can show from you guys how it works. There's a reason why you actually purposely done the certain kind of way of working. All right, there has to be a practical reason why, okay. It's not because I like it, right? Why you like it? Yeah, because I like it lah. That's not the practical reason there, guys, okay. You like it because you can show the more aesthetical kind of values to representing your styles there, right? Okay, individual styles, okay, in order to develop your own caricature kind of works. That's basically one of the what we call the way you can explain yourself there. Okay, it's not like you like it and you stop from people to ask more. Okay, we are not actually at the pasar malam anymore there, guys. Okay, we're not actually like a layman kind of things that you guys been trained as a professionals. Remember that. Graphic design students there graduate this semesters there, right? So you have to remember that, okay, the reason why we actually choose certain kind of style. Plus, okay, if you're lazy enough to draw, okay, I will draw like this one, okay, I will show a bit more further. The head bigger there, right? Lazy stuff there, okay. Without any sketching here. Yeah, I didn't do any sketching there, okay, but I continue working with the quality of line. Okay, I'm using a quality of line there. See? Then I draw the lips, the mouth, but we not actually try to accuse anything there, okay, but we try to explore different kind of way to approach our design. We try to develop a certain kind of style there. What I try to do right now, different kind of styles there, okay, to approach those works. It can be, all right, different kind of styles that works. So if you seems want to use this kind of style purposely for your design, because you want to approach your different kind of way of working and perceptions, right? Okay, perspective of your creative kind of works, go ahead, right? And of course, if I want to design myself also the same way, I can do it as well, right? Okay, for example, right? Let's just say I will design myself like okay, caricatures there, right? Cartoon styles there. And suddenly I want to choose, okay, yeah, draw the shapes of my kind of what we call that beard there, right? Like this, using a quality of line, okay? I'm using basically a very step of line over here. And then the lips itself there, the teeth there, right? But I purposely done this kind of thing because I want to give more unique kind of approach on my works. Unique there, okay? It doesn't have to be perfect there, right? Then the nose. And then what else there, okay? The head there, okay? The hair. So right now I have a very short hair there, right? I'm combining all the line together there, guys. And then what else there? The eyes. The eyebrows here. But if we look back again, all these kind of styles of designing, where do I get all these kind of ideas from? We're talking about caricatures, right? Or character styles. All the ideas that I get from here came from one of it from the children's drawings. I try to imitate children's drawings there. How basically students see things, but in more adults kind of way. Adults kind of way there, right? Okay? Purposely I've done them, right? Okay? This is one thing there, right? So where they actually can get all these kind of ideas from, if you go back into the track there, okay, all the sources of drawings that I've seen there, right, it's from this one. One of it is from this regular show characters. I get ideas from here. You see how actually they design all these kind of characters there, right? Wacky kind of characters there. So I get all these some of my ideas from here. So I'm going to keep track back again my kind of finding. This is one of my resources there, right? My resources, but I'm not tracing and copy the ideas from here, but I'm using as a part of my reference that I put into here, but I improvise a little bit more further, right? Okay, into my own way of presenting there. So this is one of the resources that I have. There's a few more kind of resources that I have there, okay, but I can't recall there, okay, which one, the names there, the name of my examples there. So that's basically one of the things that we can do purposely. Why you actually choose a certain kind of way of working with your kind of design. We design things there, guys. Okay, we design things there. Use any resources that you can get from every single kind of reference to guide you to develop your understanding there. If you ask me back again, where do I get ideas from designing this, what we call that illustrations here? Okay, I get some ideas from certain kind of illustration that I get from this one, but I didn't copy exactly that, guys, but I'm using a certain kind of senses of elements there that can represent my own way of working. Doesn't look the same, but I get some ideas from there. I'm not actually teach you guys just to copy them there, okay, but try to develop your kind of way of approaching your works at the same time by having enough kind of resources there. This is one of the samples also. Okay, but we're not actually just copy them, right? You don't see any kind of I tracing some of the work from there, because I kind of get some ideas from here. Okay, a lot of reference that I actually have before there, okay, from my previous kind of what we call that experience that I get. So all this kind of thing also will help me to gain more understanding here. Okay, when we want to design our own characters in the future, right? Okay. So take a look at how actually they design the model sheet that we call here. All right. Break down into shapes. I think I can save this one there, okay, for you guys. But it's really fun if you actually put your heart into it, guys, and it will give you more kind of advantage in the futures. If you really want to improve more on your kind of way of presenting your kind of design works. All right. Any questions about our submissions? Junkia? Have you guys take your lunch there? Daisy, what do you have in mind there, right? Just follow the rules there, or follow whatever that we thought there. I want to see the best of you guys there, guys, okay? I know you have the final year project that you've been working out, okay, but this kind of developments also will help you to increase more your understanding there, right? If you don't actually practice in the right way, you won't be able to increase your kind of creativities at the same time. right? Creativity is at the same time there, okay? You know there, okay? Nowadays, to become a graphic designer is not hard there, okay? It's not that hard. Anyone can become a graphic designer there if you don't have your own values of developing yourself as a graphic design student at this stage there. Why? You know about this one? Anyone know about Canva there, right? Hopefully don't use Canva as a part of your way to submit your FYP project if you do not actually work in a smart way. Canva has a lot of composition, layout there, right? Okay, all this kind of what we call that sample of works that you guys can use. Okay, a lot of laymen can use. They just bought one of the for example, like this one, please put some colors, use this template, right? Okay, buy them and you can use them and present it back. But of course, we will know that basically whether you guys actually have done your research or not, right? Okay, that you actually designed from scratch or not, right? Okay, that's why this kind of presentations, sorry, right, it's really important to get you guys some sort of like proof whether you where actually get those ideas came from. Okay, the chronologies of your developments there. Okay, like Ziqing. Okay, this is Ziqing kind of work there. Okay, that he actually asked me previously about he want to draw a different kind of characters there. Okay, yes, go for it. Okay, don't push those, basically don't limit yourself to do only one things that actually have been used as a part of my guide there. Okay, I want you guys to explore more further from there. If you look at Canva there, okay, there's a lot of things that you guys can do nowadays without having, you don't have to go to graphic design courses lah to become a designers like this, right? But all this kind of work will be made by designers like you, like we are. Okay, you can sell your design right here if you want to, right? I didn't actually explore much there, okay, but when I go to one of the webinar last week, one of the panel actually, right, when the host, the panel basically have been explained directly. There's one guy, there's one student actually use these templates, and he actually submit the competitions kind of logo design, okay, using this kind of templates there, okay, and he won around 200 USD if I'm mistaken there, 200 USD there, okay, one of the competition by using the template like this. So he doesn't actually have to design them, right? Okay, just submit the template like this one there, okay. So that means everyone can be a designer. So okay, those are the challenges there. But what makes yourself, right, as individuals here, to become difference there? The values that you bring here. What are the values that you bring here right now? From what you have learned for the past few semesters for your diploma. You're still in the diploma, right? What are the values that you bring? You ask yourself back again. Are these the value that you bring? See people actually who cannot design can develop those kind of can actually use this kind of design back again as a part of the template for their product, your brand, poster, or whatever that we call that, right? But for me, this is very good examples of template that you guys use as a part of your research there. Okay, because you can see a lot of ideas, good ideas from here. You kind of use them back and put into your illustrators or Photoshop, okay, just playing around with it, okay. It's a very good kind of example. I also kind of going to use all this kind of template as a part of my reference and research there, okay. It works on that. So it's very good kind of what we call that website there, okay, that you guys can actually use as a part of reference, how they use those kind of. I hopefully your presentations for your graphic design works, okay, FYP will be more better than this one. Hopefully they're right. Okay, the element that you use, the color that you use to choose the okay. Okay. Anyone know about this one? Canva? Say yes or no? No? Or you haven't known, right? Okay. You guys can check back again, right? Okay. Just for your informations and to increase more on your understanding, okay? Because it might help you, and then just don't just actually buy those kind of, okay? But it might help you to increase more on your way of presenting your works, FYP, and your assignments here today, right? Okay? For the rest of the semesters here, right? Okay. So it can be used there, guys. Okay, very nice kind of what we call that example that we have here. So using as a part of the very smart way to learn to develop your kind of design senses at the same time. But all this kind of thing you can redraw and reduce back again, reuse back again there, okay? You can actually apply them back again there, okay? But make sure when you design your kind of below the line, your kind of what we call that template for your what we call the product kind of posters, right? Okay, your brochures, okay, your kind of what we call that engagements kind of campaign, right? Okay, I don't know whatever that you're going to do, right? Okay, try photographics combination with some of the elements of those layout and composition design. Make sure you try to use this kind of Canva kind of what we call that reference as a part of your one of your research kind of what we call that way of working directly. You can see how actually they design some of their layout, like nice composition using combination between illustration and also color combination at the same time directly. It's very nice there, right? Okay, but don't just copy the whole thing, right? Okay, be smart on that. I just give you guys the tips here because hopefully can help you guys to increase more understanding on your presentations. But of course, when it comes to present later on, they will come into this kind of process there for your FYP. I'm sure they're right, okay? How actually you get all these ideas, even though you get from Canva like this one, right? Just basically screen, then you put it right here of your finding there, right? Into your findings over here. Okay, this is one of my reference based on Canva template, but I didn't use them copy directly, but I'm using it as part of my reference to engage my kind of value there, okay, value of presenting my works, okay, for my kind of campaign there, for examples there, right? Okay, so it's very good kind of libraries that we have. You guys as a new generation that works because we want to see your presentation quality look more professional there, okay? That's why I always emphasize on the technique and methods at the same time there, okay? But learn also from these observations kind of things, all right? So any questions? Kai, okay, I heard from FB. I heard from my webinar, okay, because I actually joined one of the webinar last week about freelance kind of works there, okay, how actually you can work online. Even though I know how to work online, okay, I just want to join them, okay? But suddenly they give us one of the tips about this Canva, okay? So it's very useful. So I learned also new things from there, right? So it's not, if you guys can join some of the free webinar, free kind of what we call that podcast there, okay? Just join them, okay, at this stage there, okay, just to enhance a bit more on your kind of refreshing a bit more on your knowledge at the same time there. I don't mind to join some of the big kind of what beginners kind of podcast, okay, sessions, even though I don't talk about like this one, I can actually learn also from hearing some of the discussions there, right? Okay, so those are the things there, guys. Anyone have any questions? like Zicheng, basically, I can see, okay, he actually tried to explore a bit more further on his exercise there. Okay, he kind of using, I know basically he using basically one of the few techniques that I show, using those lasso tools for the buildings there, mixed around with the brushes at the same time. Is that right? So this is something that I want to see also from your explorations there. But you using the method that I show and you explore a bit more further from there. That's basically one of the most important there. Other than like this is a very good efforts, but not entirely been using the method that I showed you. For example, the simple way for you guys to imitate or to apply what I've teach there, right? Okay. One of the simplest way that you guys can use is by the first thing that you have to remember, okay, about our assignments. Okay, let's just say you have a few number kind of reference here, right? Simple there. Okay, let's just say like, okay, you want to draw this one. What are the things that you should do? First of all, the first method that you have to apply is drawing, right? It's a drawing there, right? Simple there, right? Draw first. You learn to draw first those mountains there, landscapes there, right? If you seem to use tablets, you have the advantage there to improve more on your drawing skills. Okay. I know basically it's too late. Okay, not that late, but we don't have that time to go through like a perspective drawings there anymore. There, okay, because they will give you guys more burden to understand about all this technical kind of stuff there. But what I actually try to give you guys some examples like this one there, okay, because I want to give you guys more kind of engagements on your, speed up a bit more on your there to learn about back again to design, to draw there, okay, but using the digital methods there, right? You see there right now how actually I work there. You can get the fast results like this, and of course look like tracing, but it's not there, right? I'm actually draw on top of it, okay, is beyond tracing. See? Okay, the thick line that I actually draw right now were based on the distance there. Right now, what I actually have done here, there, okay, I try to solve some of the problems in drawing methods using digital kind of tools. I can also draw some of the details like this if I want to, see? Other than just draw the line there, right? To communicate with those kind of, to solve problem with the methods of drawings to show basically the tree from distance there, right? I'm using different kind of strokes here right now, from line drawings into the, what we call that, some etchings here right now. See? But the basic principle that I use right now is same things like we used to draw, using those charcoal pencils, right, and pen. See? Because from the distance, you guys cannot see some of the details there, but from your drawings methods, okay, you guys can achieve the quality that you want. Okay, the quality that you want to present your works over here. Computer kind of tools were made to develop to improve more on your presentations. Okay, to improve more on your presentation, the guys, not to make your presentation look worse. Okay, that's basically one of the reasons why we use computers there. Why you learn digital what we call that techniques here right now. For this semester, is not to make your works look more worse there, right? Creatively, we solve the problem using those lines. See how fast is it there, right? and you have the reference with you on top of it. Okay. Even we can do other kind of way of working here. But right now I'm using a very simple kind of methods to develop my kind of landscapes kind of drawing first before we can actually improvise them and or put some colors on that and painted that, right? Okay, and painted them back. It's all about developing your kind of understanding here on working with your own drawings back again. Okay. Line drawings basically is a fundamental of any illustrations. Okay. So I want to draw the water kind of reflections, right? Okay, patterns there, right? And it's kind of like this. One of the simplest way you guys can execute to work with your brush and your illustrations kind of tools here. Practice back again your kind of methods of working using those illustrations. This is one of the important kind of way there, guys, okay, to work. Is even though I try to draw faster, right, because I want to speed up my time there. But you guys can actually, right, take your times to work with it. Okay. Some things that you guys can also do from here. Control back again, right? Is I think I've shown you guys before, but if you're using some of the soft brushes, like experiment with some of the soft brushes there. Like this one, you want to draw these reflections there, right? Okay, what you can do using grayscales, the best way to study them. Adjust the flows as usual, the size, and then you can paint. Okay. Yeah. If you use grayscale, you use different colors over there, like this one, right? Like different kind of textures there, or colors there for the backgrounds. Then you actually can write. Use, okay, if you want to test your skills, other than using those AI for you guys to work, then you can actually paint. Sorry, I got this one. Okay. Size. Okay. Even though you can use those, what we call that, what we have the right filters there, okay, filters that works. There. You want to speed up a bit more on your process there, right? There. Without having enough kind of hesitations on what we call that, applying certain kind of methods there first, okay, to paint. You guys can use this kind of methods here. Paint here. When I paint, okay, I'm using the directions of those shadows there to paint. I'm not using white colors for the surface. I'm using gray tone there, right? Just to study back again my kind of methods of understanding when I paint, and also work with my paint styles there. Change the size a little bit with some of the areas to show a bit more kind of depth of field there. We not just try to imitate, okay, the what we call that, those kind of, we call that subject matters there, but we try to study a bit more on our understanding by using the tools. I'm trying to using the tools that fits. Different kind of tool also can be experimental, okay? Works on that. Not only this kind of tools that works. But when I paint, I didn't paint like this, all right? I paint according to the structures there, okay? To the form of the subject matters there. See? Move to chop to the bottoms there, okay? Back and forth there, right? We can do more and more kind of separations from here if I want to, right? This is one of it that I can actually apply. And then if I want to make it a bit more better on the presentations, I can actually use lassos to accommodate with your with the checkings of those shadows there, right? Like this, for example. Simplify them there, right? I try to simplify them there. Shadows line. Even though basically we can improve it more further right here later on. But this is something that I can actually speed up my kind of way of working. Because this is basically a part of the exercise there, right? If you want to add more better, add more kind of details, go ahead. Using those lassos. Copy and paste that, guys, see? Right. Copy and paste, transparent there, right? You can see those kind of detailing on the shadows there, okay? Spontaneously that I've done there, okay? From the what we call that, from the shadows that I create, okay? Illusion of the shadows that I create just now, okay? And if I want to add some sort of highlights over here, or a base colors for the mountains, there's a snowing kind of what we call that base colors there, right? For example, like this, I can paint them slowly and paint them, okay? Slowly as I paint them. So you study basically the brush tools that you use right now. We can do more and more and more from there, right? Okay? From this kind of landscape kind of design there, right? See? Who says studies has to be hard there, right? So the tone that you want to create from here, let's just say you experiment with the tools there, right? Okay? Maybe you use, okay, different kind of tones over here. Multiply, you can see the different kind of mood there, right? The what we call that, the drawing from this, what we call, okay, this one, okay, the reflections over here. I still can see using this kind of methods there, right? I can copy directly if I want to, but if I don't use that copy kind of what we call that way of reflection directly, and use this one, copy and paste like that, okay? See, I can multiply them, right, to do some reflections over there. I can erase some of the things over here, make it more better for the presentation. At the same time, I can use filters there, right? Blur, is it motion blur? Yes, motion blur there, I see. I can see the reflections there. Right. So using the tools there, okay, the right tools that works. What else that we can do from here? Clouds. Simple kind of clouds that I can create from here are going to be, I'm not using the pictures there, right? The reference is it. Copy and paste. Soft light there, right? See? Soft light there. So what I can do from here, filters, blur, Gaussian blues. Not too much there, right? See? And what else we can do from here? I can use the image adjust. Right levels. See the levels there, right? I can adjust back again those clouds there, levels there. Okay, it can be. Or if I can use also the same kind of shapes, but I can actually add new layers. I didn't use that kind of opacity anymore. If I want you, I can actually use some erasers directly. Different techniques, different kind of methods there, right? Soft brushes like this. Increase this flows 4%, and I'm going to paint. I want to make it a bit more like the clouds, a bit more softer, right? Again, it's like a sponge. Not too much there, right? It's not magic. It's all about understanding the tools that you want to use, okay, in order to experiment your methods of working at the same time there. That's basically one of the things that a lot of people try to avoid. Okay, they don't actually just working directly entirely in the right way. That's why you cannot make it right. So you just simply do because you don't actually have interest much on the works there. You don't actually put your heart into it. That's why you cannot see the right way of path there, okay, to work with your kind of design there, right? You see there, okay, that I actually improvise a lot of things from here, okay, to make it those kind of landscape there, okay? Even though, all right, from here, I can actually use different kind of colors there. Use saturations into black colors there, right? Okay. Okay. To change from dark brown to black colors there. And I can actually reduce also the opacity if I want to, depending on how actually you're going to portray them, right? Okay. So those are the things can be applied. Okay. You guys can experiment them at the same time there. For drawing landscapes, basically it's all about exploring the brush back again and the methods the right way that you use. You guys, one thing there. Okay, the thing about the character design that we have done, okay, this is a part of it, okay, to design your own styles, okay. The line of actions that have been applied from that characters, we portray the personality of it. Hopefully, I can give you more insight next week, okay, while you actually develop your design and your characters at the same time there. But one of the most important thing, okay, well, I want to bring also into one particular kind of mistake that people always do. When it comes to design your characters there, okay, you don't have to exaggerate too much on your faces if you don't have to, okay, because you have to give you have to maintain basically your personalities there, okay, like Grace right here, okay, that I actually did yesterday. This is the original face of Grace, but when Grace actually tried to explore a bit on the liquify, she suddenly, okay, done entirely in a very more different way there. Okay? People cannot recognize her face anymore. Caricatures have to be recognized your face. At the same time, if you want to exaggerate, you exaggerate a little bit, okay? It doesn't have to be exaggerate too much there, okay? And until people doesn't recognize your face, all right? So you just exaggerate a little bit only there, okay? And also the line work has to be consistently done nicely there, okay? Before you go to add the skull. If you want to use what we call that the strokes, the line solid kind of strokes there, okay? But if you doesn't want to use the solid strokes, you can use also some very paint kind of styles, go ahead there, right? Okay, I'm using a stroke because it will give you more advantage to apply the right kind of way of paint, okay, and less kind of do the work on the paint, but you actually emphasize more on the line strokes there. You're going to focus more on your solid look of your face there, okay. But if you want to learn paint styles, go ahead there, okay. I actually encourage you guys to work on that. Like you see Leighton, he actually have done the paint style there, but she maintained basically her face. Those are one of the way you guys can do that, okay? And some of your friends also have done the same thing by combining with some of the what we call that, like half-tone kind of methods and techniques that I saw just now. Okay? It's quite nice there, okay? You can explore from there. It can be there, guys, okay? But the thing is, right now, you must maintain basically your sense of personality. Is that what I actually try to explore a little bit there, okay? On Grace kind of faces yesterday, I kind of using a bit kind of exaggerations only on these areas, the cheek there, okay? And also the nose a bit, and also the head there, okay? Because I saw the head resembling something like the onion kind of shapes there. Subject matters that we actually saw, okay, from the whole kind of presentation of her face. So you must be able to connect it with some sort of like alternative kind of subject matters, the outside some subject matters, okay, for you guys to relate it with your kind of creations, because you guys have learned all these kind of things before, right? I believe in your design fundamentals, maybe, or your design exploration. I don't know what the subject that you've been working on, but all these kind of elements have been related through to your process of learning experience there. So you must be able to understand and communicate all these kind of informations together there, okay? When I actually write design, Grace kind of body the right chart there, okay? I use a reference only to guide me, and then I'm going to sketch back again into her women body chart there, okay? This one is also based on creativities there. Creativities came from all these kind of resources that you have the reference with you, and then you kind of break down and develop and improvise back again. That's basically what we call creativities there, right? Okay, you try to turn over into a more appealing and representing more better on your presentations here. That's what we actually can develop and practice all the time there, right? Okay? That kind of things happens. So you have to be smart when you come to exaggerate your face if you want to. And then when you go back into this one, if you take a look at my kind of way of working last session yesterday, okay, I kind of like using one of the sample of your friend. I don't know who, I can't remember who actually, right? But I kind of saw her kind of presentation of her caricatures, and suddenly, spontaneously, I can break down into the characters there. It doesn't relate with the situations, but I try to create some situation and I add another characters, which is I use myself as such a characters. It's easy for me to develop those kind of breakdown kind of shapes before I can design the characters there, right? So I kind of using the sketches. Okay, I'm sketching out some of the ideas from here. My kind of rough sketches, all right? Very rough one, but you can see all the character breakdown from here, that which lead me to design my characters there. But we can improvise from our rough sketches there, right? And one of the most important thing also that you have to include in your presentation of when you actually design your characters like this, right? Okay, you have to break down into the shapes there, and also you have to present it well there, right, after that, right? Okay, this is basically for my mood kind of board or my mood kind of presentations of my design at the first stage. It look like finalized, but basically it's the first stage that I want to create, okay, because I used to design the characters without some of the projects that I've done, okay, I didn't actually have to do a lot of research there, right? I just simply designed something from what I've understand from the brief there. But for the student, basically, okay, you need to break down all this kind of what we call that developments kind of process back again. That's why if you have suddenly spontaneously have designed one of the characters based on this one, okay, based on any kind of form that you have been designed, okay, we try to break down back again into shapes. Okay, this is one of the most important kind of informations there. I break down every single kind of my characters back again into shapes here. Okay, without having this kind of understanding, you won't be able to develop further more on your model sheets turn around, okay, because you have to come up with your Okay, let's just say you have one subject matters you want to design. You can come up with various type of styles there. These characters, robot character, based on this women character that I designed earlier there, right? Okay, so how actually develop those creativities from there? But all these robot kind of elements, it will not come out with a very my kind of imagination directly. Go back into Google's, check back against some other reference there. That's why your presentation has to become like this one. Because why? You want to design a robot there, right? Some research on how actually design the limbs, the part, the elements there, okay, before you're going to represent your own way of working there, okay. Most of those character design from robot came from the human skeletons kind of formations, but they improvise a bit, break into the shapes there. Okay. All right. This is some of my influence there when I want to design those robots there, right? This is some of my influence there. So I have a few number kind of influence on myself there, on my kind of process of working there. So this is one of the samples that basically I have in mind when I want to design. Okay, we design based on our experience there, guys. Okay, so we design based on our experience there, not only based on what we like there. Okay, so if you look at all these kind of design, what came from the breakdown on the shapes there. So what I did basically, I tried to break down into shapes by using the same kind of structure that I have. The same characters, but different kind of approach there, okay? Become a robot. It can be from that 5 different kind of styles there, right? Okay. So before I actually break down, I design the new characters here, I try to design front view, side profiles, okay? For my characters kind of guide, okay? This is the guide for my line, okay? It has to be aligned together there before I break down into the shapes here. Okay, understand what I mean? And of course, okay, with my characters here there, right? I did also one samples by using different kind of characters there, by applying a different kind of character, but the same designer, okay? I designed a devil or gargoyles there, okay? Gargoyles there, okay? Using the same kind of structures and features there. I can design different kind of characters based from here, right? Based on the guideline that we have. Let's just say I want to design a robot, right? This is a gargoyles there. Okay, robot designer, okay, from my characters over here. I have in mind what I'm going to do, but one of the things that make me easy for me to work is because of kind of know how to break down the shapes, okay? So learn to break down the shapes using the basic structures there, okay? Circles, triangles, cone, okay? It will give you more advantage to design your works there, but it's not come easy there, guys, okay? It's not that easy for you guys to work here, okay? I can show you guys there. But if you practice in the right way, you will get it right. This is basically my early stage of designing my characters there, my robots there, right? Based on the same features. Okay, what I have in mind here right now, I break down to shape here now, right? So what I have in mind, okay, I want to design. This is a rough sketch there, right? Okay, rough sketch. Here's a human kind of what we call that. Okay, add some description at the same time there. Okay, He has a human kind of brain. Okay, so now to design the neck, we can design different kind of neck if you want to. Break down into the collar there, right? And then I'm going to design his what we call that shoulder pad. He has some sort of like Iron Man kind of what we call the reactors from there. Then I'm going to design the body there, right? Okay, so you have a slim body. It says wearing a belts, have a gadget over there, maybe there, right? This is rough sketches there, guys. The body part there, okay? The hand there, okay? The arms, it's simplified a little bit like this. Yes, a knee pad, I will call the elbow pad, and the hands there, okay? A bit more bigger like this one there. Right? All this kind of what we call that methods of working, guys, break down into the shapes. It came from experience here, applying the structures. They're not coming basically easy. Okay, I'm kind of actually have approached a few number kind of designer, okay, before I'm going to come up with this kind of ideas here. So break down the shape also with the foot, and also right here the same thing. Look easy basically is not, okay, but if you look back again to how actually break down all these shapes, you will get it right. Okay, any kind of character that you've been working on, always start to break down with the shapes here. Okay, why so slow there, right? Don't hang it over. Okay, this is the first time that happens there. Okay, you see there, guys, okay, how actually we go through with it. But I actually try to go through with it, okay? Some jack pad maybe right here. Okay. It's all about imagination, but at the same time, based on the whatever that they have experienced before. Okay, one characters, two characters in the same features, then this is basically the first one there, right? Okay, the first character that based on this design. I want to separate these layers. You see, guys, okay, those kind of what we call that way of exploring your design there, okay, based on the same characters here. I'm using this kind of dynamic kind of flows and strokes because it's fun for me to explore, okay, and it gives me more freedom for me to develop the kind of poses that I want. That's basically my practical reason. Okay, I can design different kind of characters if I want to, there, right? But I choose to develop this kind of shapes. Okay, break down into this kind of dynamical kind of shapes here. They have more flexibility, and it plays from the basic structures and foundations to develop more critical kind of look and feel. I can do more a lot from this design if I want to there, okay? So you have to go through back again on your research drawing board. If you cannot comfortable enough to sketch using your tablets there, okay, at the moment, but you can paint using tablet there, right? You can start with your sketchbook back again. I've done the same thing there, okay? I've done a few number kind of sketches before using sketchbooks, and then I shoot them back and draw into those computers there. Draw them back, okay? Trace and draw them back, improvise them back, okay? Either way that you're going to do, it will be help, like it will help you to develop that kind of improvement on your creative experience. Okay? Any questions? Any question there, guys? Why you keep quiet there, right? Any question there, guys? You can stay like this, okay, until 5 o'clock if you want to. Silence there. Any kind of questions on the developments there, right? And the thing is, right now, what I think that I've been explained to you guys for the last 5 weeks is all about the line works. Okay, improve on the line work and basic structures there. They will give handy, okay, they will give you more advantage if you want to develop that. What I did right now is not a final works there, right? Most of them. It's basically a sketches there, right? Rough sketches. Rough sketches there. Okay. I will upload 2 demonstrations that I did earlier there, okay, later on in my what we call the channel. You guys can check back again. Today I'm going to upload them, right? Because my data have been top up just now. Only Kai say okay, right? How about Zitong? How about Jinhao? How about Poiman? How about Kailing? You guys waiting for the check, okay? For the attendance, right? Hey, nice. Any questions so far there, guys? Please respond to me. Don't let me wait there, right? Okay, Boon Kershin is here. Boon?
Yes.
Right. Lexam?
Yes, sir.
Jingwei? Crazy?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Jingwei, right? Crazy, right? So look tired there, right? Kailing?
Yes, sir.
Kailing there, right? Okay. Zichi? Zichi is here? Zitong? Is here, right?
Yes.
How?
Yes, sir.
Jinlin?
Yes, sir.
Zilian?
Yes, sir.
All right. Wing Yan?
Yes, sir.
All right. Meichi? Chung Kiat? Here, right? Chui Hong?
Yes, sir.
Ta Yi is here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Xin Yi?
Yes, sir.
Jia Huan?
Yes, sir.
Paiman? Puiman?
Yes, sir.
Guo Xuan?
Yes, sir.
All right. Li En? Is here, right? Okay. Xin Hui?
Yes, sir.
Yunchi?
Yes, sir.
Xi Qing?
Yes, sir.
Ka Hao?
Yes, sir.
And Ling Wan. Ling Wan is here or not? I'm afraid, right? If she's not committed, right, she might going to be failed for another semesters there. What is it in how there, right? 5 star. What is it? The character have to be different person or it can be the same. To make it more easy for you to develop, you don't have to think a lot about how many characters person that you want to design it, right? Okay. Stick into one subject matters, one person, but you design 5 different styles. That's it. They become a robot, they become a monster, they become a creatures, for example, the right, it can be. Okay, it can be. Okay. Or you can design also the same subject matter, the same person doesn't have to be creatures or whatever they're, okay, but it's a bit hard. You design different kind of drawing styles. Okay, that's the difference there. Okay, that's a different kind of way that you guys can approach your works there. Understand, all right? guys can take a look, okay, different style of illustration from my notes that I actually gave yesterday. Okay, yesterday, right? Okay, and you guys can actually decide which styles that you want to produce or type that you want to experiment there at the same time. But of course, the 3D kind of what we call that styles, kind of like difficult for you to explore at the moment there, right? Okay, but this one in Photoshop and this one, it can be. And let's just say I want to design my character styles over here. Okay. Let's just say I want to design no face kind of style characters there. Like we saw just now on the right. So what I can do, see, these methods you guys can use also in AI. Okay, in AI there. This one is a different style there. Okay. Different style there to be approached. But using the same kind of design there, right? You can use AI also for these styles there if you want to. Okay. Just like this one. But I'm not tracing this one. I'm using my own kind of way of approaching those kind of design. Okay. So if you have the right kind of design to approach, you can apply different kind of styles of coloring or designing them back there, right? Okay. Can be. It's all about how you develop your creative side there, okay, on developing your ideas from here. Let's just say those design they want to approach here. Let's say that I draw those, what we call that, the hands, the arm itself, okay, the shirts there, right? So the design itself, when I want to work, let's just say I'm going to design different kind of way, styles there, right? It can be. It's not basically, I'm not designing myself, but I'm applying different kind of styles there to approach on my works here. But all this kind of way of working, you have to sketch it out first. Before you're going to decide there, right? applying and designing character as a designer, okay, as a graphic design, you have a lot of freedoms that you use. See the different kind of styles there. Base the same structures by improvise a little bit, right? And when you're presenting back, try to present it more properly. Okay. All right, guys. Any questions? Is it hard there, guys? To work with this kind of design there, right? Of course, lah. You're not practicing. Not is it going to be hard, lah? Right. If you enjoy yourself, they're going to be more beneficial for you. Okay, in order to develop your kind of understanding here. I already give you guys a lot of tips for you guys to work, but you have to be more creative, right, as a person there. Okay, so do whatever that you actually felt right practically, and explain a bit on the description when you submit your works, and we see how actually Rifat can go from there, because you have more than 3 weeks there, okay, around 3 weeks to complete one assignment there. It's kind of like normally I will give around 2 weeks or 1 week and a half only there, okay, but because of you have FYP, I just give 3 weeks, okay, each work. Okay, a lot 1 month to complete those one single kind of illustrations there. So that means there's too much kind of room for you to improve from here there, right? Okay. Any questions there so far? Anyone there? No? You guys hungry? Have questions? No questions there, right? So good luck with your assignments. I would love to help you guys more, right? Okay? And I would say the creativity is on your side. How you're going to present, but I already give you guys some guideline that you work towards that, right? Okay? The creativity is on your side there, right? Okay, as a design students. You have to choose the right subject matters for you guys to develop there. Okay? But don't just copy from other people's work and make it into yours. Okay, you develop, and I want to see your kind of stage of development from there. Okay? So thank you very much, guys, for having me today. Okay, good luck with your assignments and enjoy your FYP journey there. Okay? Looking forward to see your progressions next week. Okay? And then we can see what we can do from there, okay? Because I'm going to show you guys a few number kind of way, basically on the turnaround, model turnaround. Okay, how actually we're going to work with the model turnaround, okay, when you design your work there, all right? So thank you very much for listening and also having my class. Have a good weekend. Stay safe and stay positive there, right? Bye.